I just got back from Australia, and I took a flight. Obviously, like I don't know what else you're gonna do to get from. Okay, so on the flight from Australia, I sat next to the most annoying person that I think I've ever sat next to in my life. This person was taking food off of my plate and replacing it with food that they didn't want. They legit took ice out of my cup and put it into their cup. Like, sure, she was 4 years old and I couldn't really complain, but like still, and like, oh man. As I sat down, she was like, "Hi, what's your name? Do you have any candy?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" Because I've heard of people being like, "Hey kid, do you want some candy?" But I've never heard of a kid being like, "Hey, do you have any candy?" And I was like, "Is this kid trying to fuck me right now?" Because I am not about that. Right? I do not want that at all. But I also didn't want to slut shame the child, right? I'm like, "Yo, you go get it on the other side, girl. I'll support you, but I don't want to." And like, oh, when I landed in Australia, I think I landed in the most boss way, because I went from Manchester to Qatar to Australia, and I bought a duty-free bottle of whiskey, right? Because I'm a fucking boss. But when I went to Qatar, they were like, "You need to check that." And I was like, "No." And they were like, "You have to." And I'm like, "You know the rules." So they checked my single bottle of whiskey, which means I landed in Australia, a man who had to wait at the belt as all the bags went around. And a bottle of whiskey just comes out. People are whispering to each other like, "What's that? Whose is that? Who's the legend?" And I walk over like fucking Prince Arthur, just looking at Excalibur, just sizing it up, being like, "Yeah, this is mine." And I just pick it up, and I did it! I wish I just cracked it open and just started chugging, but like, there's laws. They're very serious about all that kind of shit. But it's fun, man. I live here now in the UK, right? Fucking British person in front of me right now. No! You know he's British because he didn't say anything. He was too timid. React. I'd love to have... Is he your friend or a robot you programmed to follow you around? React! I swear, I programmed that earlier. He has to have emotions. When I first got here, though, because like I moved to Manchester because it's cheap, and then I want to go to London because it's the south, right? No, we don't like London. Yeah, fuck London! Hey! Anyway, it's got like some cool shit though. I mean, it's cool. But like, I love how cheap it is to get to London. If you want to take a megabus to London, it's like £6 if you book in advance. It's cheaper than a hostel. If you're like, I need to take a nap, just do it on a bus, wake up in London. Like it's insane. And like, look, as somebody from Canada coming to this country, I'm like, I'm gonna take the megabus like all the time. But then I took the megabus and I was like, oh, I'm never taking it again. Because people were like, you should just take the train. I'm like, no, the megabus is cheap. And then I took the megabus and I was like, the train. Because everybody can take the megabus. It is insane. I took an overnight megabus. I'm sorry for spitting on you a bit. I took an overnight megabus from London to Manchester, right? Overnight. I have 2 seats in the back, right? I got like a seat next to me saved, because you know, backwards cab, cool person, I'm asleep, whatever. And this guy walks on with like 4 bags of groceries, like all of his groceries, as if we don't have Tesco's in the north. And as he comes closer, he just reeks of marijuana. And as a Canadian, I'm like, home. One person knows that we legalized it. Everybody else is like, why is that home? So this guy comes back, and I'm like, obviously he's gonna sit next to me. He sits next to me, right? Holding all of his bags on his lap. I'm like, you could have stowed it. Anyway, I fall asleep. I wake up an hour to 2 hours later to the man next to me smoking a joint. On the megabus. And look, if I was back in Canada, I'd have been like, yo, sweet, pass it over. But I feel like I've been living in England too long that I just looked at him and was like, you shouldn't do that. But I only said it with my eyes. I was like, Right, and then obviously the bus driver pulls over, right? Because it's hotbox on the bus. And he's like, we're not going to Disneyland, like an angry dad, like as if Manchester's Disneyland. Right, and he pulls over, he comes to the back, he starts eyeing everybody up. He's like, who is smoking the pot? And now, nobody's saying shit, right? Because we're all overnight megabus people. That, and we're a little bit high and a lot bit paranoid. Right, and he's looking at me, but he looks at the one black guy, and he's like, is it you? And I'm like, it's not him! I just wanted to be like, it's the guy sitting next to me eating bananas at an alarming rate. He's just going into his groceries, just throwing back bananas like potassium's going out of business. Right, and like that's what I love about it. Because like if you want to smoke a joint in England, just do it on a megabus, because he won't mind. The bus driver was just like, well, don't do it again or I'll call the cops. And went back to the bus. He went back to driving it. Which is, oh man, if you were in Canada, the Canadian bus drivers have confidence like you don't know. Right? We pay them so well that I saw a guy driving a tram, right? A streetcar, arm out the window, fingerless gloves, bandana, catcalling women. I don't condone catcalling, I don't, but this guy out the window was like, yo baby, need a lift? To like 5 girls. And he just goes, this one's on me. Do you know how amazing that is? I just wanted to get on the tram and just go, kiss him on the dick and pay the fare and be like, yo, you respect me. You God. Because like, oh man, taking the bus is like hitchhiking if you have to pick the person up. Right? Because you have to pick up everybody. If somebody's bleeding from the face, just yelling, holding a cat, and you're like, as long as there's somebody else that looks like Hugh Grant in the front, you have to pick them up. Or you just pull over and be like, all right, get on. He's like, no, I have the fare. And he just pays with magic. Anyway, I think that was all my jokes. You guys are lovely. Thank you so much. That was 8 minutes. Perfect. Actually, okay, I'll do one last joke, but this won't be a part of the things. This is an older joke. This is advice. It's a sex joke. Do you guys have sex?
No.
Nobody has sex? Perfect, because this is advice. Okay? Never take home somebody who's significantly either taller than you or shorter than you. Okay? Because Pardon?
How significant?
How significant? Let me describe to you. Because I took home a friend, like, she was a lady friend of mine, and oh boy, was I drunk on the Coors Light, let me tell you. And I ended up in a very drunken 69 where I overshot the vagina. You do not want to overshoot the vagina. I'm looking at the butthole being like, what are you doing here, bro? Because like, a butthole is masculine. There's nothing feminine about a butthole. There's no lavender coming out of a butthole. That's just anger and hate. And I was looking at that thing like I was an adult being like, taxes, mortgages, making a butthole. God, I jumped in there like a reluctant girl in a game of double dutch. Like, I don't want to, but I have to. Right? Because like at first I was just trying to squeeze my body down, like take me back to the paradise that it was. And the girls are pretty. So look, you gotta be careful when eating ass, right? Because it's shitty. No, it's shitty because you don't know if you're doing a good job, right? Because with a vagina, you knew you're doing a good job if it like shakes or it leaks, right? Yeah, shaking, leaking, killing it out there, buddy. If a butthole shakes or leaks. You get the fuck out! Even if you're not wearing a shirt, you run around the block for an hour, forget anything happened, come back, knock on the door, be like, what are you doing, huh? Watching Storage Wars? Fitting. Look, because if that That thing volcanoes in your face, nobody's happy. Nobody, are you kidding me? There's shit on your face. She gets up crying, running to the bathroom because apparently she's the victim. You gotta go console her, being like, don't worry, baby, you smell so good. I'm 1/18th German. I'm totally in it. Are you kidding me? A bird chatted at me earlier. I'm gonna play the lotto. So lucky. Alright, I've been Desmarais, guys. Follow World Comedy on Instagram. Give it up for Cameron McLeod.